Hello children, so today we are back again with our next video classes. So in previous classes we have been learning sales and selling processes. So today we'll continue the rest part of the chapter. So previously we learned about the distinction between marketing and sales. Now today we'll discuss with a new topic, that is meaning of personal selling. So personal selling is also known as salesmanship. So what is the meaning of salesmanship? Basically, salesmanship is the process of assisting and persuading a prospective buyer to buy a product or service in a face-to-face situation. Means a seller who convinces the buyer to buy the product. So what is the salesmanship definition? Salesmanship is the process whereby the seller ascertains and activates the needs or wants of the buyer and satisfies the needs or wants to mutual continuous advantage of both the buyer and the seller. Now we'll discuss about the features of personal selling. So what are the features? Let's talk about the gist. They are personal, next is selective, next is oral, next is long lasting relationship, and next it is art, then flexibility, and the last is mutual benefit. So first we'll talk about personal. So what is personal? So personal selling involves a direct personal and face-to-face interaction between the buyer and the seller. Next is selective. So what is selective? It involves the contact with a very limited number of persons. Next is oral. Oral means we do everything, we do everything verbally, not by written. Okay. Next is long lasting relationship. So main motive of the personal selling is not just the earning profit. The main motive, the purpose is to make a permanent customer. Okay, now next we'll talk about the art. The personal selling is the skill of persuading people to buy a product or service. Means we have to convince the people to buy the product. The convincing power is basically the art. Next we'll talk about the flexibility. So what is flexibility? So personal selling is flexible as the salesman can tailor his sales presentation to fit the needs, motives, and the behavior of individual customer. So basically he clarify all the doubts and objections that are raised by the customers. So next we'll talk about the last topic of the personal selling, that is mutual benefit. So personal selling is basically a two-way process. So it results in the benefits of both the customers as well as the seller. So customer satisfaction will lead to the higher sales and more profit to the seller. Now next we'll talk about the importance of personal selling. So what are the importance? First we'll talk about it. They are understanding the customer needs, next is persuasion of customers, next is complete job, next is most flexible tool, and then it is provides feedback. So first, understanding the customer needs. So what are the customer needs? Customer needs basically a personal selling should have to understand the needs, the habits, and the attitudes of each and every customer. Okay, to satisfy their needs. So information about the customer is also very necessary. Now we'll talk about the persuasion of customers. So a salesman can persuade and convince a customer. It is their art, it is their skill. So he can inform, educate, and win the confidence of the customer. By convincing them, he can show his knowledge to the customer. The customer get to know about the product, and then they will decide they will buy it or not. So next is the complete job. What is complete job? So personal selling can do the complete job of what? Complete job of selling. That is their work to sell the product. Now next we come to the most flexible tool. So what is it? The personal selling is the most flexible tool technique of promoting sales. The sales representative can adjust his approach to suit the particular situation. Means if the personal selling is flexible, it will help the customer as well as the seller to increase their sales. Now we'll talk about the provides feedback. What is it? Salesperson can collect the reaction and response of the customers to the marketing efforts of business. Means hence we are providing the service to the customer, so we can expect our reaction or feedback from them. So basically this provides feedbacks, deals with it. So now after this we'll talk about the next topic, that is distinction between advertising and personal sales. So let's begin. So the first basis of distinction between the advertising and the personal selling is their nature. So what is the nature of advertising? It is a mass selling method. And what is the personal selling nature? Its nature is to one-to-one selling method. Means in case of advertising, it is advertised, the product is advertised on television or some other places. Suppose in Flipkart or in Amazon, it is a mass selling process from where the seller sells their product. And now next is the personal selling. It means we sell our product, we do the interaction face to face with our customers, and then we convince them, and then we sell our product. Now next we come with the contact. So in advertising there can be no face to face contact with the customers, and in personal selling there has to be face to face contact. Okay, so now we comes to cost. So in advertising it is less costly, and in personal selling it is more costly. Now we come to the flexibility. Advertising is less flexible, and in case of personal selling it is more flexible. Now we'll talk about the sale. So in case of advertising, the sale cannot result in immediate sale. We have to do the advertising, we have to advertise the product each and every day on a regular basis, then the customer gets to know, and then the customer buys the product. And in case of in personal selling, the customer sees the product, they gets convinced, and they buys the product immediately. So there is a difference between immediate sale and no immediate. So now we'll talk about the customer satisfaction in advertising and personal selling. So in advertising, the customer satisfaction cannot be removed, but in case of personal selling, the customer satisfaction can be removed. Okay, now the coverage area is very wide in case of advertising, and in case of personal selling the coverage area is very narrow. So after this we'll come to the next topic, that is steps in personal selling process. So what are the steps? We'll discuss about it now. So first we'll talk about the gist, that is preparation. Next is prospecting, next approach, next presentation, next convincing, next closing of the sale, and the last is post sale. So the first process is preparation. So what happens in preparation? First of all, a well-trained and motivated sales force is developed. So what is their work? Then that sales force went to the various customers, they convince them, they give them the knowledge about the product, so that the buyer gets aware of the price, quality, and the uses of the goods that is to be sold to them. Now next come to the process, that is prospecting. What happens in prospecting? In prospecting, it means locating and identifying the potential buyers. So how can we identify, or how can we locate a buyer? We can locate a buyer by contacting with a dealer, by watching the telephone directory, or by talking to the salesperson. So this is how we get a list of a buyer, and then we do the next process. So what is the next process? It is the approach. So firstly the preparation is being done, then the prospectus is being made. So in prospectus a list of the customers are being written, and then approach. In approach stage, the salesperson makes directly a face-to-face contact with the buyer. So next we come to the presentation. So what happens now? The salesperson displays and describes about the product which is to be sold. So this happens in case of the presentation. Now we'll talk about convincing. So what happens in case of convincing? In case of convincing, a salesperson, he convinces to the buyer so that he could take the product. So now next we come to the closing of the sale. Though in this stage what happens? In this stage the salesperson concludes the sale by obtaining the consent of the buyer. Means he takes the feedback of the buyer and then he finally does the closure of the sale. Last is the post sale follow up. In what happens in this case? In this case the salesperson should check up whether the product sold is working to the satisfaction of the customer or not. So basically the personal selling can be summed up with an acronym that is AIDCAM, AIDCAM, which stands for attention, interest, desire, conviction, action. So now we'll discuss about the next topic, that is qualities of a good salesman. So what are the qualities of a good salesman? They are good physique, cheerful, sincere, sensitive, knowledgeable and sound memory. So a salesman must be trustworthy. We cannot buy from a random person. He has to be trustworthy person. So first we'll talk about a good physique. So a good salesman must have sound health, good appearance, cheerful disposition, as an impressive voice. So he should be physically and mentally fit for the hard work. Next we come and also he must be properly dressed. So next is cheerful. His manner should be pleasing and cheerful as well. He should have a smiling face. So next we come to sincere. A good salesman should always be loyal and committed to his work. Okay. Now next we come to sensitive. A good salesman should be sensitive to the needs and expectations of the customers. So next he must be a good listener and has patience. Now because all the customers are of different temperament, so we have to be patient with the customers in order to sell our product. Now we come to the knowledgeable. What is knowledgeable? A good salesman must have a knowledge about the product, then he could able to convince the customers and then he could be able to sell the product. Now we come to sound memory. What is it? It is a keen observation, alert mind and the sharp memory and the ability to judge the people who are necessary for the successful salesman. So these are all the good qualities of a salesman. So now we come to the conclusion of the chapter, that is the distinction between the sales and the selling process. So what are the distinction? In selling, what is it? Selling basically it is a step-by-step process taken by a salesperson to sell the goods. And what happens in the sale? It is the total amount of goods and services that is sold during a given period of time. Now next is selling is not a quantitative term, and in sales is a quantity. So thank you class. I hope you have understood the chapter. So now we come to the back question or back exercises. So some of the solved exercises are being uploaded on WASM. Rest I'll give you the homework. You will try to solve it on yourself. So children, stay home, stay well. Thank you.